Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Great Faith. I trust you all are doing well. I am super excited for everyone that is here. Guys, we wanted to shoot out, but it was drizzling, and before we knew, the weather became like very serious, you know. So there was no way we could shoot under the rain. Yeah, extra miles, but not with today. The rain. You get that? The weather is 4G and all of that. So no. All right, with me here today, I have Smart. She just arrived in Lithuania, and she wants to share her story. Guys, I will not be sharing the stories of this student myself, because they are the ones that need to share their story, so that you guys can be able to understand. When you say you want to come abroad, you will have to make your decisions and really decide, and also prepare yourself. So first and foremost, Smart, we are happy to see you in Lithuania finally, after the rigorous stress and all of everything you've been through. Don't forget, it's a very girl Great Faith. Don't forget to click the notification button and also to subscribe. It's just going to be a chit chat, not me talking. Of course, Smart is going to be doing the talking. So we are going to be expecting you to be like audible, because the people needs to hear a lot from you. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm here to buy a mic. I'm here to work on my studios, okay, so that you guys can be able to, like, people will talk with the mic and all of that. So Smart, you are here in Lithuania.
Yes.
First and foremost, how do you feel?
Excited, happy, challenged, determined, and ready to go.
That sounds very interesting. So how did you hear about us? How did you meet us? Because I know your spouse was the first person that came to us. I think he said you were going to, I can't remember everything, but yeah. Can we start with that?
So let me give you a brief story about how my traveling started. So I actually gained admission to study in Canada, that's University of Manitoba. I was supposed to study medicine and surgery there. And along the line, I realized that the agency I was using were being cunning. It was more of, they will tell you to pay this today, pay that tomorrow. And then I was like, okay, I already gained the admission. I was supposed to start my visa process normally. And I was asking them for the documents for visa process, like what I should bring. And I was hearing things like, you don't need anything. And I'm like, no, that's not possible. You're supposed to tell me to bring some certain documents. So I told my spouse about it. Meanwhile, he was already processing Lithuania. That's University of Business College. And I was like, this is what I'm going through. And then I was like, okay, no problem. Why don't you just done this process and come to Lithuania? Like, I've spent a lot of money, but it's preferable to pause here than to get to Canada and then realize everything was fake. Because then I was hearing a lot of stories about people that would get to immigration and then they'll tell them the visa is fake or the documents are fake, or when they get to Canada they'll turn them back.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that.
Nigeria. And I was like, no, I won't fall for this kind of victim. In fact, I had a friend that the father had to sell his car and most of his properties to get up to $10,000, only for him to get to Canada, and they told him to go back because every document was fake.
What? How did he get the visa?
We don't even know. That's one thing. And the painful part was that the agency's number just went off. The office does nothing to use on getting.
Oh my God, that's what I used to say. Somebody to intervene when it comes to the office. I know a lot of people are like, can you open office? People tell us that. Guys, do you know that an agent that wants to deal with you guys can just go and open office for 1 week? Facade, right? They can do everything, arrange it, make it look sweet. You will come there, you will pay away your destiny like happily with them. You just be laughing, you just give them your money. And after that 1 week, that is it. Oh my God, this is sad.
So that's actually what happened. So the guy had to start crying and begging. I think he got to a stage, there was someone there that was like, okay, would help you. And I really don't know what will happen after that because I lost contact with him. But one thing I know was that the dad was looking for the agency back in Nigeria and there was nothing. The office was closed, the contact was blocked. There was no way. Even when the police tried investigating, I don't know, those guys did their job well actually. they did well. So that was how I swapped from Canada. I had to leave my admission, and then one other thing that made me change my mind was that when I calculated what my school fees is in Canada and what my school fees is in Lithuania, it's more like what I'll pay for the 5 years course of study, what I'm paying for 1 year. That's how fun it was. So I was like, okay, instead of wasting this money, why don't I just come to Lithuania and further my studies there? And the process started. Thanks to Misfits. I was able to get an admission into one of the best universities in Kaunas.
She's making it like she just got the admission.
And I didn't just get the admission, sorry.
Guys!
I didn't just get the admission, sorry. There was a lot of processes. In fact, there was a period I was scared I won't get the admission.
Smart did not give us a document. Me, I used to open their ass. Smart, bring your document.
I didn't have...
The Smart to tell us, she's a very busy person. I said, will you get out of here? She doesn't want to bring her document. Like, in fact, wait, it got to a point I was so agitated and angry, and I'm like, she is not taking this seriously. And once she will start taking it seriously, I'm going to be relaxed, and it's going to be an issue. She should get her document. I think she got her document. Then the transcript was not okay. The school rejected it or something. Yes.
So the issue I had was this. You know, the period I started this process, I was actually working. I was actually a molecular biologist in a COVID center. So
nice.
I was working night shifts. So most times when I get home, I'm stressed out. So the lady that's Miss Mabel that helps me get this.
Kudos to Mabel.
Yeah, I would actually say a very big thank you to her because she was really helpful. She was always calling, Smart, are you okay? Are you fine? Are you not stressed? So what happened was the first criteria for the school was you must have a B in English in your whole level. So what I did was I just went to the WIAC website, logged in my PIN, just printed out the results, and then I saw I had a B in English. I had an A in mathematics, so I was excited because I already passed that criteria. So I just forwarded the screenshot to her. Now, she also was a bit excited for me, and then when she checked and realized that I met all the requirements, we just sent the stuff to the school like that.
They sent it, and I asked Mabel, and Mabel told me, I've submitted all the documents. I'm like, okay, good. Later, I'm like, did you submit original? She said like, hey, yeah, I've submitted everything. I'm like, okay, fine. Then after some time, the school came back that they should send the original and really, guys, I don't know, because it took me a while to get this document from her. I became like, no, it was a stuff. I became really agitated because I think we were working with time, and the time was just like this. So I'm like scared what will happen, even because you know when you started, the policy did not change. Yes, it was still national D visa, not even TRP. So I was skeptical. Does this girl know that there is no time? Maybe it's like I've written her, she's not replying. The spouse is like, she's working. I'm like, oh my god, these people, do you guys really want to do this? I don't want to do. So from there, I think you took it up. And
so when Mabel reached out, there was a day I came back very late, and then Mabel reached out to me because I had everything I needed. So she was like, they're asking for your original wife. I was like, really? I thought I sent you. So when I went back to our chat, I realized it was the screenshots, and that was because we were looking for B. To make sure I had a B in my English, and I had a B. I had a B2 in my WIAC level, or my echo level papers. So I then had to go scan the main certificate and send to her. They started the process. Then the issue I had was now transcripts, because this transcript I had, I actually applied for masters in the lag before in Nigeria. So the transcript I had was sent to Unilag, but I had a copy. So she was like, we can't give them that one because it's already carrying University of Lagos on it. So then I had a raw file, because in my school you actually go to apply, you go to each department yourself to get it. So I had a raw file. So I sent her the raw file. She used to apply for me first. Then I would get back to my school for the main transcript. Now I was working, so I couldn't go to Delta States. So I had to beg a friend there to help me run around So I just sent money for her to run around for me. So when I sent her the raw file, the school accepted the raw file at first, but they gave me a deadline to give them the main one, and I should make sure my school send it to them directly with their name written on it.
I think that was where we almost passed out.
Yeah, so that was where the issue started for, because my school was taking time. In fact, it got to a stage my school sent my transcripts, but they sent incomplete. They sent year 1 and year 5. Year 2, 3, and 4 was missing. The school sent me a mail directly that it seems your school is joking with us. I had to start begging the admission coordinator that, ma, please, oh.
That was good, man. Promise that. Thank God they never said,
The school was like, smart. Was, in fact, the period the lady was trying to call me, and I was like, she was trying to call me on WhatsApp. Like, smart, what's wrong with you? You're a very bright student. I've seen your transcripts, the raw files is good, your whole level is good, everything is just good with you. Why is the school doing this? I was like, ma'am, sorry, I have to start calling. Because they say I have to call the person in charge, like the registrar. I'm like, ma'am, please, this is a life and death matter. I've paid some certain amount of money. You should allow my mom to go down the drain. And then I'm like, okay, tomorrow morning you get your transcript. So when they were sending the transcript to the school, they copied me in the mail. And then they said, so I had to call the leader. I was like, ma, my transcript was sent. She was like, oh, okay, wonderful. You get a reply from us in 2 days. And God's willing, 2 days after, I get a message that I've gained admission to study pharmacy. And I was actually thinking it was just BSc, and Lord and Beauty was an integrated one. I'm doing both BSc and MSc, and by the 5th year I'm getting an MSc, that's Masters. And I was super excited. And then another Gbazgbos came. They said I was going to have an interview. So the date I was supposed to have the interview, I was working. In fact, I was on duty that day. So I had to beg a friend of mine at work that, please, I have an interview, just cover up for me. So the day of the interview came, I was on my system, and the lady just appeared. So I wish I was waiting for an hour before the time, and I was kabashing. Oh my god. I was kabashing. Maybe she just clicked, and her face, she just started smiling. Like, woo, I love you, smile. Like, come on, you're more beautiful. She was like, what's your name? I told her my name. Why did you choose this school? The guys, I won't lie, I know nothing about the school, but you see that day, I knew 1001 things to say. How it happened, I don't know, but I said a lot of things about the school. And when I went to browse about this, was all true. But to be sincere, I read nothing about the school. And when I told her everything, she was like, okay, thank you, you really passed, you did well, your documents are good, your this is good, you get back from us. And the following day, I just saw my admission letter. Bam. That's how my story went. It was funny because it was not planned, but everything just fell in line. But it's stressful.
It was stressful because I had to prep her, because I had to let her know how to answer some certain questions, because that's what we do, right? We have to learn, because you don't answer anything.
If you don't learn, you will fail.
You don't answer anything, no. It's not question and answer that the type that you just open your mouth. Wow. Like, hey, God.
When they start asking you tricky questions, you start hearing things like, that's why you introduce yourself. You feel you just say your name and you keep quiet. No?
Yeah.
When they say introduce yourself, you're asking you about your job experiences, your schools, the reason why you're coming down. Like, you have 1,001 things to say, just introducing yourself. Now, when you just say my name is this and then you keep quiet, it'll be like, no, go on. But the good thing about it is the Hebrew Congress tells you everything you need to know. Because I did my own prep in nights. Just imagine, 11 p.m. and I had an interview for 8 a.m. They're prepping me 11 p.m. so I could not sleep. I was kabashing from 12 to 7. Only for me to get towards my eyes was really like that of a tiger. And I had to wear glasses and look very good. So the whole thing I'm so ridiculous. But it actually went well, because everything they told me, everything they prepped me with was exactly the same thing I was asked. The only difference was they were asking me about the things I know concerning the course I was coming for. So I had to tell them I had a basic knowledge on chemistry, physics, and biology, anatomy, and things like that already. So that gave me an edge for the course I was going for.
Yeah. So because when we were having the prep, I told her you have an upper hand because you have, like, you've studied something similar. So I told her, connect the dots, just mix it. It's English. Mix it well. Don't over mix it. Don't overstay. Say what they want to hear. Open your mouth and talk, but do not say gibberish. Because if you're talking and you're out of point, There'll be nothing that like as if you're talking at the end. The year goes in your email. Please don't waste my time. Sleep has finished me. I just have to do it. So that was how that ended. She got her admission, and when she got her admission, I think Mebe told me, because Mebe was the rep assigned to her. Mebe was the one handling Lithuania or something.
Really sweet.
Mebe was the one handling Lithuania. I will attack Mebe instead of Mebe to go and attack her.
No.
Smart,
She'll
please.
come and pet me. Like,
Smart, please.
yes,
I'm
smart,
like,
baby, how are you?
You
Have
know-
you eaten today? Please, I need you.
somebody I say go and fight. Goes
I
well.
was being treated like a queen.
She will go and be doing for there.
Queen.
Well, at some point, the women worked because me, I was not having time for all of that. So finally, she got this admission, and we were excited because she was the very first student we are getting admission in that university. We never told you. Oh, I think we told you. We never told you. That was our first admission in LSMU. You know why? Because most of the students, sometimes the tuition is not smiling with you. Like for those of them that want to go and do medicines, like 12,000, 11,000, you know, 5,000, 4,000 upwards. People, not everybody. Some people, you understand. So that's the thing. And also the rigorous process. They're not joking with you. That school is like one of the best in Lithuania. We all know what we are talking about. So after that, that was that. So we moved on to the visa. It was visa we wanted to start processing, and all of a sudden the Lithuanian immigration changed their policy, and I reached out to them and I said the policy has been changed. So instead of you doing the national D visa, we are going to be applying for the TROP directly, because if you come in with the national D visa, you still need to come and do your TROP. That's another expense. So the policy is that just do the national the TROP anywhere you are, but that anywhere you are shouldn't be like that. Anywhere you are means where they have their embassy.
Service provider.
Yeah. So now what made it more difficult is that Egypt was the one that was serving most Nigerians, but from Egypt branch was closed and it was moved to Lebanon. So they needed to get a Lebanese visa.
That's the story.
That was where the real.
I'm not sure. You want to hear that side of the story? I'm not sure you want to hear it. That's very terrible.
So how did you get your Lebanese visa?
Oh, okay. How is it? There's this saying that information is powerful, right? But that was actually my first time of traveling, and I didn't want to be involved in any rascals. So my spouse was actually the one that did most of the stress. He went to the consul's office in Lagos, and they told us there that we'll be paying, I think, $90. Yeah, $90 for the visa, and we'll have to have $2,000 in our accounts. Yeah, that's all, just $2,000, and then you get the $90 to pay the visa fee. So we went there, we got the visa, and we're preparing to travel to Lebanon. Getting to the airport, there was stress because normally I think the normal rules is visa on arrival. So if you do visa on arrival, you're paying just $2 to $4. That's what they charge you. But the problem is you have to have the $2,000 on hand, like in cash, to show them at the airport, Nigerian airports. If you don't have it at hand, they won't let you go, because they'll tell you you're going there to cause a nuisance or something. So when we got to the airport, they were stressing us, like, how did we get there? In fact, we were delayed for close to 30 minutes because they were wondering where we got the visa from. And then we told them that it was a consult that gave us the visa. So thank God we had the receipts. So we showed them the receipt. They used the micro.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to actually ask. Why are you asking? This is actually weird. Why are you asking a traveler where they got their visa when you should just scan it through a system to check if it is real?
They started checking and doing everything they needed to do, and then they started asking for the $2,000. And then I told the woman, I said, "Ma'am, this whole thing you're asking me has been asked, and because I qualified for it, that's why I got the visa. If I didn't qualify for it, they won't give me the visa. So I don't expect me to hold $2,000 cash at hand. I needed that money to get the visa on arrival, but I already got my visa. Yes, I don't need it at hand. I need it in my bank account, and that's where it is." Then she was like, "Okay." And then I thought, I'm not going there for business. I'm going there as a student. I'm going there because they're the only external provider that can give me the TLP card I need to use to go to school. And the mom was like, okay, no problem, you're free to go, thank you, this, that. Getting to Lebanon, another problem started because they were expecting us to join the queue for visa, and they would show them we already had a visa. So it's hard to take a very long process of checking and checking, confirming and checking and confirming. And then when they realized that it was there, so like, okay, we should go in, and that was ahead. Before the main problem now started, the main journey now started, because we had a mentality of the TLP process was just going to take like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but it actually took a month and 3 weeks. And in Lebanon, it's either you're staying in a very comfortable place or you're staying in a hostel. But anyone you want to do, the cheapest you'll see is close to $22 per night.
Yeah.
Now imagine paying, and we were staying in a place we were paying $30 per night.
Okay.
Now imagine paying $30 for a month and 3 weeks.
Praise the Lord, people.
Hallelujah. So you say traveling is not enough for the week, but one thing about us is if you're determined to push through, if you're determined to leave our sweet country, let's put it that way, you would actually do anything to get to it. So despite the fact that it was a bit difficult to survive in Lebanon, we still survived. Got the TLP card, and by God's grace we are both in Lithuania today. Although we're doing one square meal, because that's how was it goes. Everything in Lebanon is in dollars because the money itself is not really cool. So we're paying everything in dollars. So in Nigeria, $10 will give you like 10,000. If you use 10,000 to cook pot of soup, they'll say this you like 3 days. But there, $10 cannot even buy anything. And whatever is buying is something you can finish in a day. So imagine you're using $13 to eat every day for a month and 3 weeks. So it was kind of stressful, but it was actually worth the stress.
So how did you go about your documentations?
Alright, so for the documentation of the TLP, I think because the Lebanon was just a new external provider, they didn't know the necessary documents.
That's right.
So they only accepted was the major things they knew, and that's the police character, your bank statements, your insurance like health insurance, and then your travel ID, that's the valid international passport. Those were actually the 4 major documents. Then you pay, because there's a payment you make for it. Some countries take 180, some 200, but then Lebanon was taking 240. 120 for the VFF center and 120 for immigration department here in Lithuania. And when we submitted our documents, my home sponsor was my dad, and that of my spouse was his company. So they only told him to bring a signature, a sponsorship signed letter from his company, and everything went smoothly. I think he got his own card in less than 22 days.
Yes, his card came out early, guys. It was
got his card in less than 22 days. But mine was a bit stressful because number one, my dad was sponsoring me. So it was like after 18 days, yes, after 18 days, I was told to go get an affidavit.
Guys, this is after submission. Like, do you guys understand?
After submission.
She has already submitted everything.
After
waiting.
18 days. I was just waiting for a decision.
She was waiting for a decision. And on the group, people already started getting visa. The other guy, there were 3 that could pay their tuition this year. And the first guy has already gotten his TRP, he has gotten his decision, his visa. We are celebrating Lithuania. We are celebrating tons of Chinese visas that we are getting. Like Kazakhstan visa, we are celebrating all of this visa. Her spouse got his own again. What's happening to her? Like, everybody became worried.
So everybody was now thinking it was a spiritual problem.
Who hasn't?
It was actually funny because mentally I was sick. I was getting down. My spouse was actually very helpful because it was always like, don't worry. My parents were always capashing on my head, always calling to, psych me up. Miss Faith here was never leaving me behind.
At the time,
I got to a stage I had to actually block my phone.
At the time, she disconnected from all of us.
I did.
And the spouse was like, the phone is like, I said, leave on this thing. God, we do it. We know what's happening here.
I decided to be on my own. Although my phone got bad, but I could actually easily transfer my stuff to my other phone. But I decided to just leave it that way. I just wanted to be on my own because I was like, what's happening? So the first thing I got was after 18 days, they complained about my police character. I don't have the second seal. But my school sent me a waiver letter, so I was free from that one. Then after 22 days, I was told to bring a notarized bank statement, that's proof of funds. That the one I submitted was not notarized properly. I had to call my dad in Nigeria. He had to go to the bank, sent me a scanned copy, I uploaded. The following day, they told me to bring an affidavit. And then I was like, okay, now in my village people really get my time this time around. So I had to call my dad for affidavits. He did the affidavit and everything. I submit. Okay, so before that, I had a sponsorship letter also that my dad signed and did a thumbprint on it. So I was submitting that because I really didn't understand the Lithuanian language. That was the reason to send me messages. And then they sent me a message that they don't want that one. And they want an affidavit that should be signed and stamped by the courts. In Nigeria, like a oath, yeah, let's put it that way. That my dad is taking an oath that he's going to sponsor me to the very end. So I had to call my dad. Daddy, I beg you. My dad had to leave his work and start running to the courts to get with the affidavit. So when they said the affidavit, I sent it back. I was thinking that everything has finished. Then, like after 28 days, because normally it takes 38 days. When you submit, they'll call you after 38 days, you get your TLP. So that was like the 22nd, yeah, the 22nd. So I was hoping that at least I had just 16 days to go.